We constantly hear about how people have terrible attention spans nowadays. And this is definitely a hot take, but I'm not actually buying this narrative. I watch and listen to a lot of videos on YouTube, and there's something interesting that's happening, especially with the videos that are becoming popular. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you a story. I went to journalism school, and before you click off this video just because I said that, whenever we had to build a news report or film like news stories, our teachers, who were all journalists, basically always told us to keep our videos short. Basically, no longer than 1 minute and 45 seconds. And their excuse was that people just don't have the attention span for something that long or longer nowadays. But that never really sat right with me. I was apprehensive about going to journalism school in the first place. And the reason why was I noticed that on TV or on the radio, it always felt like journalists stayed on the surface level. Either their choice of topics was kind of superficial, or they talked about a really interesting topic but spent very little time on it, like no longer than 2 minutes. And I know that a lot of people feel this way. And now that I have my journalism master, I'm gonna double down on this take. Saying that people can't or won't watch longer videos is insane. Explain this to me. If people's attention spans are so screwed that they just won't sit down to watch a video that's 2, 3, 5, or even 20 minutes long, why does H-Bomber Guy's 4-hour video on plagiarism have over 10 million views? Well, I think it's because the attention span problem is twofold. There's a structural and a quality issue. I think we're misunderstanding what the actual problem is. So first, there's the structural aspect. It has to do with just that, the structure. So for example, look at TikTok. The first thing that the app teaches you is scrolling, compulsive scrolling. This is extremely important because it doesn't even let you watch the first video that the app opens for you. You're meant to skip over it and just scroll. Here, the fact that you have a short attention span is not really your fault. The app primes you. The videos are short and you're not meant to ascribe too much value onto them, since the app teaches you that you can just skip over a lot of them without worrying. So you know that if you don't like the first few seconds of a video, you won't like the rest. So you skip. Personally, I hate this, which is why I never use TikTok and try to never click on YouTube Shorts. But I'm not free from this sort of design. Most of the apps that we use are designed for compulsive consumption of media. Why? Because compulsivity increases app use. Then they can serve you more ads. And I mean, it makes sense. We all live inside of capitalism. And I know I said the C word, but bear with me. I swear it's important. The most important thing in capitalism is infinite growth, not quality. You need to keep making more and more money. So why not make an app that hijacks your brain and force feeds you media at breakneck speed? The attention span problem, then, is structural. The apps that we use are designed to hijack our ancient reptilian brains. Oh yeah, because again, it's not just a TikTok thing. TikTok is just the app that's currently the best at it. It's also the case for apps like Facebook, Instagram, even Temu. The overall design, the small prices, everything is made to not let you linger. You don't like a product? Just like TikTok, if you don't instantly like what you're looking at, just scroll. The next short video, the next cheap product is just around the corner. People feel lonely and depressed. COVID worsened the loneliness issue, and things like climate change or the fact that most of us will never own a home worsen how depressed a lot of us feel. Which leads me to my next point. Sure, consuming short videos compulsively like a well-oiled factory worker doesn't help with depression. But you know what does help? Qualitative art. Good quality media. I'm gonna ask again, why did Hbomberguy's video on plagiarism do so well? Why are Joseph Anderson videos getting any views at all? One word: quality and particularity. So actually 2 words. Again, I watch a lot of YouTube, and what I've been noticing is that in the midst of all the AI and automatically generated content, the thing that most people seem to crave the most is genuine human-to-human communication. Media that seems to be made by a particular human with their unique thoughts and ideas. They seek human connection. And that's what art basically is. Art, at the end of the day, is human-to-human communication. You need at minimum one human to make the art and another to experience it. People want to hear what people have to say. They want a human on the other side communicating with them. They want personality, opinion, connection. So when you have YouTubers that take an awful lot of time to make media analysis or genuine investigative journalism, then people watch. You're made to feel that this attention span issue is individualistic, caused by your behavior and your behavior alone, not by the structures we all live inside of and interact with. We're made to feel that it's only an individualistic issue and not at all a structural issue. But this is not even unique to attention spans. In our current world, we often hear that issues that are very much structural are actually caused by you, individually. Yes, you. For example, did you know that the term carbon footprint was actually created by BP in the 2000s? They wanted to take responsibility away from oil giants and make people think that climate change is actually something that we can remedy only by taking individual steps. Now, don't get me wrong, driving your car less is good. Not using the AC or heating excessively is good. But it's not even a little bit near being enough to change anything. We need legislation to stop climate change. Big companies are the biggest polluters. Even if every single working person got their carbon footprint down to 0, climate change would still completely wreck the planet's climate in record time. So, much like this example, the attention span problem is deeper than people are just dumber nowadays. I talked about the structure of apps like TikTok, how it forces us to be compulsive. But let's be honest, the problem is more global even, more holistic than that. We're constantly on the clock, at school, at work. We're worked to the bone without even being paid that much. So a lot of people work multiple jobs just to make it, which results in no free time. And we talk about productivity, grind set, having to be on and active, producing an output all the time. It's exhausting. Add to that the fact that everything's expensive nowadays. We're meant to only think about work, and unlike in the past, we're not even promised to be able to buy a house if we work hard enough. How the hell are people meant to build a family if we can't even be sure that we'll be able to buy a roof to put over our kids' heads? No fucking wonder that people mindlessly numb themselves on social media. But there's hope. If you're like me, good art invigorates you. Personally, it shows me that people will just strive to achieve greatness for the hell of it, because they want to, even if they're not promised riches, profit, or fame. They just want their impact on the world to be good. So in the description, I put a document with YouTube channels that I personally recommend watching. For each channel, I put a video that you can watch from them first, but all their videos should be fair game. Take care of yourself.